Hey guys, before we get into today's video, I wanted to start it out on somewhat of a serious note, a PSA if you will, especially as we head into the new breeding season. Just because we're mostly arboreal enthusiasts, especially if you're watching my channel, it does not mean that we are not in danger of being attacked this season by the new ball python names. And look, I never know where these ball python names are going to be derived from. It could be from the food group. We might be seeing the first Stromboli ball this year. Or perhaps even from an infomercial, we might be seeing the first Snuggie gene. Or even worse, they might even make up some ridiculous name like Zuwadi.
Well, there really are Zuwadi genes.
They already exist?
Yes.
Oh dear God, this is worse than I thought. And even though I have no idea what these animals are even going to look like, here are 3 things I can definitely tell you. Number 1, these genes are going to be very much underrated. Number 2, they're going to create powerhouse males. And number 3, you should not sleep on any of these genes. Do not say I didn't warn you. Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to video number 36. As always, we have a bunch of stuff to get to today. My breeding season has started. I got my first clutch of eggs. I had some ovulations. I'm going to show you all that in today's video. Got some new snakes in as well. You guys are going to totally freak when you see these. Totally exceeded my expectations. Super excited to show those to you. And what else? Carpet pythons. I want to get into carpet pythons a little bit today. I get a lot of questions on how do you keep babies to adults. I know for most of us out there, if you've been doing this for a long time, carpet pythons tend to be on the easier side to keep. And they are. They're not as difficult, but there's still a definitive way to keep them. So we're going to talk about raising babies, subadults, and adults. And 2 quick announcements. The first was I was just on Morelia Python Radio with Eric and Owen, and I'm going to put a link down below to my podcast with them. Eric and Owen are true OGs in the podcasting, reptile podcasting game. I had a blast. I love talking with those guys. They have an amazing amount of knowledge. And again, I'll put a link on the bottom of this video. Also, there might be a delay in my next video coming out, and I got to tell you why. Because Caroline, my amazing editor, whose priorities seem to be a little bit out of whack because she has a new baby coming along any day now, and it seems like my video editing is going to be put on the back burner. So anyway, Caroline, congratulations. That's amazing news, but the next video may be delayed a little bit, guys. And lastly, before we get into today's video, just a quick survey for everybody watching right now. Team Johnny Depp or Team Amber Heard? Comment down below. I want to know. Let's get into today's video. Okay guys, I have my switchblade out and we're in my laundry room, which means I'm either about to start a DIY distressed jeans project or I just got some new snakes in, and lucky for you guys, it happens to be the latter. So why don't we just check out right now what's in this box, and I am so excited to show you guys what's in here because it's really tough for me to keep a secret from you, but let's just jump in here and open up the, you know what, it's diamond pythons. I was gonna burst. All right, so let's open these guys. And these were sent to me by my friend Brett Bender. Brett is in Texas. And these animals were produced by Greg Heim. And it's a 2020 male-female pair. And the female is actually going to go to a buddy of mine because he actually lost his female last year. And since I have plenty of females right now, I thought I would let him take the female. And just some paperwork Brett had sent with the animals. And this looks like it's the male, and this is the one I'm keeping. And I was looking for a high yellow male diamond to plug right into my project. And if he looks half as nice as he did in the pictures, I'll be happy. So yeah, he looks pretty incredible, guys. Just what I was hoping. So look how yellow that is. Can you see how yellow that animal is, guys? He's absolutely gorgeous. Love him, super pumped to get him. Plug him right into my pure diamonds, to plug him into my Diamond Jungle Jaguars, to plug him into my 75% diamonds. I have a lot of plans for him. And this is the female. And she looked really pretty as well. And let's get her out. Oh, she's awesome. Now, I'm sorry I said my friend could take her. I probably should have kept her. Hopefully you guys can see how pretty she is. Gorgeous. Not as high yellow probably as the male. She's a little heavier pattern, but a gorgeous animal. So anyway, hey, who doesn't want more diamond pythons? And these are let's see, Gary Val line and San Diego Zoo line. As we know, most of the diamonds in the United States right now tend to be from one of those 2 lines. Gary Val, San Diego Zoo, or a combination of both. And you can check out my diamond python video. I'll put a link down below where I really get into diamond python lines in the United States. anyway, that's the pair. I'm totally pumped to get them, and I can't wait to guys keep you guys updated in future videos as they grow. Hey guys, just came down to the snake room, just checking up on things, and I noticed I had a Savu python female ovulating, and my jungle carpet python was just laying her clutch of eggs, so I thought I'd shoot an impromptu video. If you notice, I didn't even have time to get my hair and makeup done, but just bear with me guys, I promise. Hopefully it's going to be worth it for you. And why don't we just go and grab this female Savu and take her out. And there's many things I'm not good at in life, and it just so happens that multitasking is one of them. So just put that down for 1 second. Let's get her out. And so you can see this girl is clearly ovulating. You can see all in here. And for those of you out there who haven't really gotten to see an ovulation up close, I know especially when you first start breeding and you're checking on for ovulations all the time, and sometimes you're looking thinking, I don't know, I can't tell. It looks kind of swollen, but I really can't tell. Well, when there's an ovulation, like in the case of this girl, it is super obvious, okay? So I promise you, when you actually see an ovulation for the very first time in person, you'll never wonder again what exactly an ovulation looks like, because, I mean, she cannot be any more swollen than she cannot be any more swollen than she is. I always feel bad for them at this point because they just look so uncomfortable. Alright, so this girl, I forget how many eggs she gave me last year. Let me see if I could find that really quickly. So last year, this girl gave me a total of 6 eggs, and all 6 hatched. So hopefully we'll get 7 or 8 this year. But she's my first Savu ovulation of the season. And why don't we take a look now at the jungle carpet. Let me put her back real quick. Okay, so this girl was produced by David Hastings, and I got her by the way of Adam Hoolander about 18 months ago. So she's a David Hastings animal. Let's make sure she's done laying. Yeah, she's nicely tightly coiled around her eggs. We'll take her out in a second and see how many eggs we got. But I hope you guys can see her really well. I'm going to actually put a picture up of her and her sire, which is also a David Hastings produced animal. And it's tough. She doesn't look her best right now, guys. That's why I said I'm going to put the picture up. But what I love about David's jungles is that not only is the yellow really bright, but he has just some of the darkest black jungle I've personally ever seen. So this was pretty much a dream pairing for me. You saw what the male and female look like. So I am totally stoked for these animals. And by the way, it's the first time I ever bred jungle carpets. I know they've been done thousands of times before, but it's the first time for me, and it's always super exciting to produce a species that you've never produced before. So why don't we get her out, and we'll take a look and see exactly how many eggs she gave me. Okay, so there's a total of 9 eggs here. Is that like a perfect looking clutch or what? I noticed the one on the bottom here is a little bit of a boob egg, as you can see, but I just candled it. Has excellent vein growth, so I'm not concerned about it at all. I always like to try to separate my eggs. And when it comes to carpets, I don't know, the eggs are they're so big. It's not like with green tree pythons where they're so small and can easily crash and burn just due to their small size if there's an issue with them. So with carpets, I'm not really concerned. I'm just going to incubate these eggs. I'll leave them all adhered together. So 9 perfect eggs from her. I actually palpated her for 9 eggs, so I'm not totally surprised, but I'm always hoping I missed 1 or 2. But 9 perfect eggs. But you know what I also thought was meant showing you guys is that not just for green tree pythons, I talk about not using nest boxes, but for all my animals. So as you can see, I'm going to go back to the female jungle carpet, and I just use these half logs all the time, and I love them because see how easily you could just check for eggs just by lifting them. The animals will always use these half logs. You don't need to put a nest box in there. You don't have to disturb the animals by taking the nest box out and then looking inside again. You could just use these half logs. They're tough to find sometimes, usually more available at local shows as opposed to order them through the mail, but you can track them down. I used to get them from the Hamburg show in Pennsylvania if any of you guys are on the East Coast. But again, love these. Just simply lift them up. You're not disturbing the animal. You can check on her regularly. I was checking on her twice a day looking for eggs without disturbing her just by lifting the half log. But anyway, just food for thought for those of you who are still set on using nest boxes. I just think always it adds an extra step of a complication where there doesn't need to be one. Hey, with all the videos I've recently done about super simple ways to keep green tree pythons and emerald tree boas, I get a lot of questions from carpet python guys out there, and I often forget that Yeah, I do think the arboreals, the true arboreals, the emeralds and the chondros are a little more difficult to keep, if you will, and we tend to think that carpets are far easier to keep. I do think they are easier to keep. I still wanted to give a quick breakdown exactly how I keep my carpet pythons and hopefully make it a lot easier for anybody else out there. So babies, hatchlings up until about 6 months old, guys, I keep in a little shoebox rack. And the one thing to keep in mind as far as temperatures, regardless of age for carpet pythons, well, first off, humidity, 50 to 60% humidity for regardless of the age. And as far as temperatures, I keep mine anywhere from 83 to 85 on the hot spot, on the cool spot, 78 to 80 degrees. And that's regardless of the age, okay? So babies, I keep in little shoebox racks. For the first, like I said, almost up to 6 months, David Braum, Specialty Enclosure Designs. I have little perches in there for them. You can use anything you want. And after about 6 months, they start growing out of that. And again, I use newspaper on the bottom, or I'm sorry, I use paper towel on the bottom as my substrate. You can use shredded mulch or aspen bedding if you want, whatever you want to use. They're not too particular. I always worry about things getting ingested with babies. That's why I use paper towel. After 6 months, guys, they go into a 12 to 15 quart Rubbermaid container, traditional Rubbermaid container, just like with the baby rack. Heat is on the bottom. It's pretty warm. It's 84, 85 degrees on the bottom. I always give them something to climb on. They are, you know, semi-arboreal animals, carpet pythons, especially when they're younger. David Braum, Specialty Enclosure Designs. My substrate on the bottom of the 12 quarts, even though I have this paper in here like this, you can use aspen bedding as well, the shredded aspen, which I also love. Again, this will get them through 6 to 12 months of age and something like this. Probably less than 12 months. Probably, I don't know, 6 to 9 months. Once they reach that 8 to 9 month mark, and then I'll move them to the ARS rack. This is the 50-20 rack with ARS. From here, I'm definitely putting them on shredded aspen. I always give my animals a high spot too. I didn't mention that earlier. From babies to young animals up until year-old animals, I keep them on the aspen mulch with a high spot. Fresh water, as you can see, 50 to 60 degrees, 50 to 60% humidity. And in this 50-20 tub, they'll live in here for at least up to like 12 to 14 months, something in that area. And super simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It could be obviously different than what I'm using, but this is what works for me. And now that we've taken them from babies up until, say, 14, 16 months, let me show you right now where I keep my adults in. Okay, guys, this is a 2017 pure jungle carpet python. And this actually is the sire of those eggs you saw earlier. Those eggs are now coming up on just over 2 weeks old. As you can see, he's so jet black and bright yellow, David Hastings line animal. But anyway, even though the animal is much bigger and the cage is much bigger, this is a boa cage, so I keep all my adult carpet pythons and my adult diamond pythons. This is a 48-inch by 2-inch deep by 18-inch high enclosure. And again, even though it's much larger than those enclosures I just showed you, the parameters are exactly the same. On the hot spot, you're going 84, 85 degrees. There's 50 to 60% humidity in here at all times. You don't need that high humidity with carpet pythons, guys. They remarkably, even though it may seem drier to you, unlike arboreals, unlike emeralds, and unlike chondros, they very rarely, if ever, will have a dry shed. That's what I love about carpet pythons. Again, so 48 inches by 2 inches deep, 18 inches high. You can even get away with maybe a 36-inch cage for a smaller male carpet, but for my adult females, I always like to put them in larger enclosures. I give them a perch as well. That's by Specialty Enclosure Designs as well. And pretty much this setup you're here, it's going to live out their entire lives in this setup. So if you have any questions, you can always put them down below. But just to recap, temperatures of carpet pythons, you're going from, say, 83 to 85 degrees on the hot spot, maybe a little warmer on the hot spot, 85, 86 on the hot spot for adults. 50 to 60% humidity. At nighttime, it goes down to maybe 78 to 80 degrees on the cooler side, and that's for my babies, subadults, and adults. So again, have any questions, put them down below. This is a 75% diamond python female I produced last year. She's absolutely incredible. If I told you she was a pure diamond, you'd have no reason to doubt me, but she's not. She's 75% diamond, and I will be producing these same animals again this year. If you're interested, you can reach out and let me know. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. Please like and subscribe my videos. I really appreciate that. As always, USARK needs our help. They do so much for us and ask so little from us. And Morelia Python Radio, if you get a chance, check that out. Again, I'll put the link down below. And once again, Caroline, congratulations, and I hope to see everybody very soon. Who has the best YouTube channel? Me